Hello, everybody. This is Mike Nelson from the Mike Nelson Show. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe right now. Today, I'm here with a couple members of Ravage. How you doing today, guys?
What's up?
All right, so if you could give your name and your instrument, that way our listeners on the radio can know who they're listening to.
Yeah, I'm Eli. I play guitar.
I'm Nick. I play guitar as well.
All right, so a couple guitar players from the band Ravage. So when did the band kind of start out? What's the history behind the beginning of the band? When did this kick off?
Eli, you take the early days.
Yeah. Goes back like 30 years, around like 95, 96. My brother and I, Al, who's a singer, we were just getting into metal, and somehow he got this idea to start a band. And I think he had a guitarist in mind. He had a friend. And then he just picked up drums and he said, "Hey, we need someone to play bass. Do you want to play bass?" I was like, "All right." So I picked up the bass and started learning. And it's so long ago, I can't remember really like exactly how it went, but we just learned our instruments as we went. And we got some songs going. And then, the guitarist eventually left. We got another guy in, John Kozel. Started writing stuff a little more metal. First stuff was good. I don't know how to describe it really. It was, I guess, kind of like Iron Maiden-ish, but a little toned down. When Kozel came in, we started writing stuff a little heavier, a little faster. And then we went on for like a couple years like that. And then around 2000, we decided, maybe we bring in another guitarist. I think I'd switched from bass guitar at that point, maybe around 97. And then we went on for a search for a guitarist, and somehow, I don't remember how we came upon Nick.
I answered an internet ad that said, heavy metal band looking for second guitar player to complete dual lead attack.
Yeah.
I could not answer that.
Yeah, I think, was Al still playing drums and singing at that point?
No, I joined with a drummer and Al was singing. Moberg.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, Al was singing and playing drums. We were a three-piece for at least like 5, 6 years. And then Al toyed with the idea of finding a drummer. We actually eventually found someone. And then, yeah, we brought in Nick. And then things started getting a little more serious at that point, and we started focusing on maybe writing some more serious music and actually recording an album at some point.
I was looking online. The band is from the Boston scene. Is that correct? The Massachusetts scene. Is that correct? Well, how's that scene out there?
Comes and goes.
For metal, right?
Yeah. I think right now, maybe not counting whatever it was like in the 80s, but I feel like the last 10 years has felt the strongest, with the rise of acceptable genres to come back again, and basically like the underground kids just taking it back and putting on our own shows and stuff like that. Yeah.
So it must have been like when you guys were kind of starting out there in the 90s and early 2000s, with this kind of metal not really being popular. It must have been kind of difficult then in that scene.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was weird. Like back in the late 90s, we were playing with ska bands, punk bands, just any show we could get on. It was just like bars, basements, stuff like that. And then the 2000s, the whole new metal thing came, and we kind of found ourselves playing with some of those bands. And for years, we never played with any bands that fit us. It's strange. It was a weird time.
Because even then, too, the underground became very strong in death metal, black metal and stuff. So we'd be on a show with like 4 other black bands or 4 other death metal bands, and it was awesome. Some of them were really, really good, but definitely a different vibe and different feel back then. And I feel like that's probably one of the biggest differences nowadays is, even with that, the appreciation for melodic metal has still been there for everybody, even if you're writing death and black. That even mismatched bands on a bill do still make a really good show.
What was it like finally getting to record an album? That first album, what year was that? The first record you guys recorded?
Oh, six
Six,
maybe?
2006.
Yeah.
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 How was it like finally
Um,
getting to do that as a band?
that was awesome. Yeah. I think
What
we
was
had
what was the process of getting that done? Was it an independent recording? Did you guys get signed for that? How was that like on the first album?
Well, we had our demo, Curse of Heaven, was probably the first taste of having somebody else track and produce when we were just there to provide the music. And that gave us a taste of what like a bit of like a professional recording could do. And that got us exposure, at least over in Germany, which got us very excited. So we wanted to quickly start recording on our own as well. However, that we decided to do on our own still, but we still did it. We tracked live drums, we tracked guitars on our own as best we could, and then we brought it to Basil. Eli, help me out. Who produced that after we tracked it?
Basil did the drums, right? He tracked the drums.
And rhythm guitars. I remember being with him for
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we brought it to Jack to mix it, I think.
Yes, that's what happened. So the same guy that did our demo, we brought him the tracked stuff, and he put it all together. Yeah.
Now, when did you guys finally get a chance to go to Europe? First time like playing live in Europe.
Was that
I think it was
2006?
08, right? Was it a six? Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Something
I think the
around
next
there.
time was like 2009 or so, right?
Yeah.
Or 2008. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was excellent. That gave us a taste of we'd probably been to our shows on our own in other cities and across the border in Canada, where it kind of gets a little bit more of a European feel. But that was something I don't think you could experience unless you actually did it in the States at that time. Just a different appreciation for the arts and the music scene and stuff like that. And people, we go over there and all we have is a demo and I'm pretty sure our full length just came out and there were people singing our songs back to us.
Yeah.
We never knew what that was like.
That was Sword Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Sword Brothers Festival with Attacker. Um, don't remember who else headlined, but it was Attacker, Ram, and a bunch of other bands.
Yeah. Snake Eyes, Fiacra. I'll have to look at that bill again. Yeah. Jews Andernock, right? Yeah, that was that little
Yeah.
village.
Now, talk to me about the new single, "Man Made Ice Age." Talk to me about what it's about and how that song came about.
I mean, the lyrics are more a question for Al. um,
Yeah,
so,
we always joke and say to him what we think it's about, and then he says it really doesn't have anything
yeah,
to do about that. So,
yeah.
but I'm pretty sure on the surface it's about climate change awareness. Yeah.
And how was it like making that song? Like, was it an old riff or was it an old idea? Did you guys kind of create this to make recently? How was it like making that track?
That was a brand new song, which is really exciting for us because I think the last album we did was re-recordings of the first album, and the album before that had maybe like 50% older songs, I think. That was just throughout the years, we decided, okay, let's do these songs type of thing. And that had a couple of new songs on it. But this new album has a lot of new material. I think there's only one old song on it, maybe two. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it was a brand new song, um, written in the past year, 2 years. And yeah, it's just great to play some new stuff.
Now, with the new record, "Spider on the World," when is this going to be coming out?
January.
That's the plan. And when was it recorded? Was it recorded this year? This new album?
Well, let's go back a little bit. So 2020 hits and it splits us all up. We all live around the Boston area, but we're spread out. So we came up with this plan. Tony DeMello, our new drummer, joined us at the time, and he showed us that he was able to track his drums at home. So then we said, well, if we're all split up, why don't we just like do the modern thing and just kind of release old songs? Just record a song, release it, record a song, release it. And then things just didn't go as well. So we finally got them all together and in a certain grade of being finished. And then we just decided to now just put it all together as an album. Eli was doing all of the engineering, and that was also limiting our time too. But yeah, it finally got finished over this kicked it into gear probably the last year or so, yeah, to get it done.
What are the plans there for the band next year outside of getting that album, released?
The same thing. Just start writing again. I think probably time is what has been a gift and a plague to us as a band. We've been around for so long, and I feel like we probably lack in just releasing music as frequently as we probably should. Yeah. So we're really excited that this is a very excited lineup, very active lineup, and very talented lineup that we have, and we just want to keep going, keep this momentum going.
Any shows you can announce? Maybe any touring plans? Any shows you can announce to the public?
Nothing right now. The winter is usually pretty tough. I think we would do easy shows that are probably good to travel to. But right now, nothing on the horizon as far as the winter is concerned. Yeah.
All right.
Just focusing on making videos and making content.
All right. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show today. It was great talking to you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember to stay heavy.